Hi everyone, I'm going to put together a super quick video. I meant to do 3 practice problems, um, and here's the first one. So a train travels 44 kilometers in 30 minutes. What is the train's speed in kilometers an hour? And how about in meters per second? So 44 kilometers in 30 minutes. I'm going to go back here, and the first thing I'm going to do is write down what I know and what I want. So I'm going to just do given and wanted. Um, you can do known and unknown, whatever you're used to. But given the, the distance or the displacement was, they're both the same. So the distance is the displacement is 44 kilometers, right? And I think it said 30 minutes. I'm going to double check here. In 30 minutes, and I want the speed in kilometers an hour in meters per second. So the time was 30 minutes. And I want speed in um, kilometers per hour, and I want speed in meters per second. So that's gonna, I'm just pulling the information out, and that's just gonna help me keep on track here. Well, I have basically one formula for speed, and that is speed is distance divided by time. Okay, and so I want the speed, I've got the distance, and I've got the time. So really, this is pretty straightforward stuff, right? And kilometers per hour, well, I just have to do kilometers per hour. Okay, so well, how long is that in hours? Well, let's work this out. 44 kilometers. I want my units to be kilometers per hour. So how many hours is 30 minutes? That's half an hour, right? So 0.5 hours. For this one, you don't even need a calculator because 44 divided by 0.5 is 44 times 2. That's 88 kilometers per hour. Now I can go ahead and I can convert 88 kilometers an hour right into meters per second, or I can do the problem again, just stating that number in meters and that number in seconds, and we're going to get the same results. So let's just do that, right? So the speed in meters per second, well, 44 kilometers is 44 kilometers. 44 kilo is 1,000 meters. And 30 minutes is, I don't know, what's that? That's 30, how many seconds is that? Well, that's 30 times 60, right? Because there's 60 seconds in each minute, there's 30 of them. So that, 60 times 30 is what, 1,800 seconds. And so the speed in meters per second is 44,000 divided by 1,800. 44,000 divided by 1,800. In meters per second, we are at 24.4 meters per second. 24.4 meters per second. So there's the speed of the train. Okay. The next problem isn't going to ask for the speed. It's going to ask for how long will it take you to get there. Okay. So you're going to Maine. You're going to go 70 kilometers an hour on average, and you're going 350 kilometers away. So given and wanted, I'll switch to the screen in a second, but just so I don't have to switch back and forth, right? So the speed or the velocity, if you average 70, so the speed is 70 kilometers an hour, and the displacement or the distance in the case is the same, is 350 kilometers, and I want time. So now I'll switch back to the camera, and I made a little chart here, speed, distance, and time. I was given the speed, I was given the distance, I do not know the time. Now, you'll notice on the instructions it says, please solve the problem algebraically first. Okay, so let's do that first. Our general formula is speed is distance divided by time. And I want time alone. So I'm going to multiply both sides by t, so that I get t times s is distance. But I'm looking for t, so I'm going to divide by t, and I get t is distance divided by speed, by dividing both sides by s. That's what I mean by solve it algebraically first. Now let's put the values in. and we'll get our answer. Distance over speed is 350 kilometers over 70 kilometers per hour. The kilometers are going to cancel, and our units are going to be 1 over hours, which is going to be hours. So our answer is going to pop out in hours, and so 350 over 70. We get close in our heads, but let's get the real number, because it's the same thing as 35 over 7, of course, is 5, right? So we are at t equals 5 what? 5 hours. You know, if I was being a real stickler and I wanted in standard units, I would want that in seconds. And 5 hours times, well, 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So 5 times 3,600 is 18,000 seconds. So 5 hours is 18,000 seconds. But 5 hours would be fine. I would give you full credit for 5 hours. That's fine. Even though seconds are the standard unit. Notice I'm boxing my answers, and I'm solving things algebraically first. That's important. And just one more. This won't take long. This last one, well, I've already asked you how fast and how long. So the next one's going to say how far does it go, right? An aircraft is going 800 kilometers an hour for 4 hours, 30 minutes. How far does it go in kilometers and meters? Okay. I'm going to go to a new piece of paper here. And I'm going to write down what I know, and then I'll switch over again. Given, wanted, well, given 800 kilometers an hour. That's the speed or the velocity, 800 kilometers an hour. And the time is 4 hours, 30 minutes. I'm going to write 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, 4 hours, 30 minutes is 4.5 hours. And what do I want? How far? So I want distance in, let's see, kilometers and meters. Back to the camera. Okay, so there's my given and wanted. And again, I'm going to start with our formula. Speed is distance over time, right? And I want to solve this for distance. So I multiply both sides by t. I get the distance traveled is speed times time. That's all. And so I solved it algebraically. And now let's stick the numbers in. Speed times time. Okay, so the distance is 800 kilometers per hour times 4.5 hours. And my hours cancel. I've got one up in the numerator. I've got one down in the denominator. The hours cancel. My answer here will be in kilometers. And 800 times 4.5. 800 times 4.5 is 3,600. Right? How far will this thing go in 4.5 hours? It'll go 3,600 kilometers in 4.5 hours. And this part's really pretty quick because it also says how far is that in meters? Well, 3,600 kilometers is 3,600 with 3 zeros on the end. But let's do it properly. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Now my kilometers cancel, and 3,600 times 1,000 is, distance is 3,600,000. But don't say that in polite company, because this is better stated as 3.6 million. Distance is 3.6 times 10 to the 6 meters. And that's how you do those problems. All right. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you people soon.